Childhood obesity is a real growing problem. Right now, almost 1 in 5 children between the ages of 6 and 11 are considered obese, this putting much of them at a much higher risk for many health problems later in their lives. Dr. Christopher Mesha from Floyd Memorial is talking to us now to tell us more about what this actually means for kids and how parents can recognize it even.
It's definitely a growing problem. We're seeing more and more concern with it. And just kids in general, they're getting larger and larger. And it's almost to the point now that being overweight has kind of become the new normal, in that I'll frequently see patients in the office who are completely normal weight, but parents think they're too skinny.
Because compared to all the kids in their class, they are, yeah.
Right, yeah, exactly. And so one of the first hurdles is to try to convince a family that their child is overweight. Just because there's so many overweight kids in a class, by comparison, you're going to look like all the other kids, so surely they must be normal.
Right.
And parents think, for example, like if you can see any ribs in a child, then they must be too skinny, when actually most of the time, if you can't see ribs in a child, they're actually overweight.
Really, yeah.
And so getting a family to kind of recognize that there even is a concern, that's one of the first big battles or big hurdles to leap.
And then the next step, once they do come to terms with that, is getting all of them to take part in making a difference.
Yeah, you need to get the whole family on board. If a child is singled out by themselves, that one child has to eat different than the rest of the family, or do things different than the rest of the family, most of the time that's a recipe for failure. You want to kind of get the whole family together, and the whole family looking at trying to modify what they eat, or change, adding some exercise to their daily routine, or something as a group. That's always much better odds for success.
Yeah, which it's hard enough for an adult to do, much less for a kid as well. But you said something interesting during the break when we were talking as well, when parents come to you and say, okay, how many pounds do they need to lose?
Yeah, we get a lot of that, because if you let a parent know your child is, for example, 15 pounds overweight, a parent's idea is then, well, my child needs to lose 15 pounds. And if you and I were to want to lose weight, and we do everything right, and we eat better, and we exercise better, when we step on the scale, the number goes down. And if we do things wrong, the number goes up. And we can track our progress, or our success, or our failure based on stepping on the scale and watching the number go up and watching the number go down. But a kid is still growing. And a kid is a lot of times on the steep end of a growth curve. And so if a kid is overweight, if every time they step on the scale, the number never goes down, they can feel very defeated, especially if the whole family is together doing this, and mom and dad step on the scale and their number goes down and they're having success. Very frequently, if a kid is maintaining the same weight, or if they're gaining weight but they're gaining weight less fast, that's actually success.
That is success.
But it can be defeating to a kid to step on the scale and, oh, it's the same, when when other people are going down. And so I try to steer some of the kids or families away from doing the regular weigh-ins and stepping on scales, unless they really understand that if your child just stays the same weight month after month after month, that's actually weight loss, and that's actually heading in the right direction.
Right. Well, a growing problem, of course, and we've linked you up to more information about childhood obesity, plus how you can fight it. All of that information, very helpful, there on WHAS11.com.